Nope. Well, I can hear you, but through, not because you're. That is true.
Woodward Sports Network.
Let's go! Woodward Sports, let's go! Woodward Sports, let's go!
Woodward Sports, let's go! Woodward Sports, let's go!
Woodward Sports Network, let's go!
Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. To my right.
What's going on? It's Kory.
And to my left.
Hello there, it's Joey.
And we got Art and producer Cam today. Fish is coming in right behind him. Hi, Fish. Good to see you. And Adam is over there making sure the sound sounds so crispy this morning. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show. We're live every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on the Woodward Sports Network. And this is how we like to kick off the show. It is now time for Joey's News.
Whew. Yesterday, some crazy news broke about Tiger Woods, y'all. Tiger Woods broke the news after being involved in a single car accident, as you see right now, where he suffered multiple leg and ankle injuries. And I was reading the message that Anish Mahajan, the MD at the Harbor UCLA Medical Center, put out, saying that they inserted a rod into the tibia. So this was crazy. And I'm looking at this footage, and it's crazy. Like, how did he flip his car like that? That's one thing that I wanted to know.
Well, they're saying that, I mean, we'll get into this a little bit later. I don't want to break it down too much right now, but they're saying where he got in that accident, it's like a downhill slope, and it's very easy. It's a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. Very easy to catch yourself doing 60, and then next thing you know, you got to take a turn, and, you know, it's unfortunate, and we saw what happened. So,
And they said that is the spot that a lot of accidents actually happen, unfortunately. But according to his official Twitter account, he is responsive and recovering in his hospital room. So there's some good news right there. And then we go to the NBA. The Detroit Pistons beat the Magic 105-93.
yeah.
But sad news around the Pistons, guys. Our boy Jerami Grant was not selected as a reserve for the NBA All-Star Game. I think it's just the fact that the Pistons aren't winning. It's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I did some deep diving into that, and I kind of understand it now. I'm not going to say whether I agree or not. I'll save that for later.
Yeah. I mean, there's one guy, though, who did make it, and it was Julius Randle of the Knicks for his first time in his career. And I love this because this is the way that if I ever win the NBA All-Star, I want a video from my mama like this.
Hi, Julius. Surprise. I just want to say that I love you so much, and I'm so proud of the son and the teammate that you are. Continue to grind and work hard, putting forth great effort for your team. Just continue to work hard, and great things are going to happen for you. Love you.
How great. On the Jumbotron during the game.
Mama looking good, too.
Yeah, what up, mama? The 76ers, they did beat the Raptors 109-102. And this play right here by Baines, it's got to go down as the greatest play. Look at this.
Oh, whoop, whoop. It looks like me out there.
Doesn't touch the ball. Then he dives on the floor, passes it, mess up, gets the ball back with the slam dunk.
Big man. You got to love Baines. You know, Fish probably loves Baines because he's from Australia. So he was on the Australian national team, and he's a hell of a player. We had him here in Detroit, and he wasn't bad here.
Yeah, that was
Should have
great.
kept him.
I think so, too, yeah.
They're always better when they leave Detroit. Michigan State, Adam got this one right with the upset against number 5 Illinois last night, 81-72. And we got to shout out Joshua Langford recording 15 points. And check this out. He had
15 rebounds.
15 points. He had more rebounds than points. He
Oh.
had 16 rebounds.
Damn.
That is a lot of rebounds.
And that was a much-needed win for Michigan State. I mean, now they're back in the talk of at least making the tournament, but it's going to be an uphill battle. They got Michigan coming up twice in their next 6 games.
Yeah, so they're now 12-9 on the season, so they're definitely going to need a heroic finish to the season, but that is new for coaches, so hopefully they could get that because I want another Michigan team in the tournament. And then what about this, you guys? J.J. Watt might be done career. All the talk on Twitter yesterday. We were talking about this yesterday when we were at lunch at Leo's Coney Island. J.J. Watt on ice. That's what all the talk is about. This is actually a video, a little throwback of him on ice, and look how fast he just hit that shot.
Yeah, but what the hell was the goalie doing there? Like, what was the goalie doing? Can we replay that again, Art? The dude just dives to the left like he looked like a soccer goalie just trying to guess something. And, like, look at this guy. I could score this. The dude just clears out. He doesn't even try to stop the puck.
I would be scared of a J.J. Watt slap shot, too. 6'5", 290 pounds on ice. That is something that I want to witness.
That is a big fella, yeah.
That is a big fella. I won't need to worry about my eyes on that situation of watching him on the ice because of Dr. Yellow at the LY Center. I just wanted to give him a quick shout out because he is the man, and he is the trusted doctor when it comes to LASIK. I mean, you're touching your eyeballs. You want to trust a doctor and have someone that you trust, and that's Dr. Center. So call right now for your free evaluation at 1-800-398-EYES or go to YelloWEyecenter.com. Just look at the picture of how beautiful Yellow Eye Center is. I love it there.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I'll attest to this too. Like, it's a free consultation. So even if you've thought about it or this is something that you want to check out, make sure you advantage of this free consultation right now and call them 1-800-398-EYES. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you, and they'll hook you up with $1,500 off too if you elect to get the surgery. But the consultation, absolutely free. So go check them out. They changed my life.
Yeah.
Definitely needed.
Oh, Kory, we're gonna change your life next.
Hey, so you take off the glasses. Are you like horror? You can't see?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to make a test of what like it's like. If I did not know that would go, I would have a hard time making out that was Woodward.
Oh,
dang.
wow.
Yeah, and he's talking
Wow.
about the wallpaper that's even
Yeah.
behind him right now. That's what Kory's talking about. He couldn't see the Woodward Sports behind him. So yeah, Kory's definitely a candidate. Go check him out, man. Get that free consultation.
I'm going to get it done, because I'm going out trying to do some stuff for my birthday. If y'all let me out of the asylum.
When's your birthday?
July.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, it's today. We missed it.
I thought today, maybe tomorrow.
No, I wouldn't do it like that.
So obviously the big news all day yesterday. I mean, ESPN bumped their regular programming to cover this around the clock. I was kind of, I think the whole world was kind of captivated by what happened. I think a lot of it with kind of the, I don't know, PTSD of Kobe. Because when you hear big accident, big star, jaws of death, you're immediately thinking the worst.
Yeah, me and my friends were talking about that yesterday. They're like, crap, everybody is just kind of getting over the year of what happened with Kobe and Gianna and the other passengers. Now, what if something were to happen to Tiger Woods, like just a year after? That would have been. I don't know how people in a sports sense would have recovered from that.
I saw a lot of sports commentators from LA yesterday, and it shook. Like Bill Plaschke, if you know who Bill Plaschke is,
Yeah.
he had tears in his eyes yesterday. He said he had a lump in his throat, and I thought that was a little over the top reaction. But obviously, I'm not going to tell anybody how to feel about this situation. But the amount of effect this had emotionally on people, and like I said, I really think it brought people back to how they felt about Kobe in that moment.
I mean, you look at the severity to this, and then you, like you said, they have to bring out the jaws of life for this, and you see the crash, you see like the condition that he's in. I mean, with a rod in his tibia, it's like obviously the severity of this, if it was a little more severe, could have ended his life. So that's the scare to it. And you talk about the area of where this accident happened, where it's like a speedy hill where a lot of accidents actually happen.
Right. You're going north on Southfield to get on 94. Like, that turn is absolutely insane. And then you see it here on 696 near Telegraph. Anytime there's a snowstorm, there's somebody in that ditch when you're heading, eastbound on 696, that turn. So, I mean, like, we deal with those types of things, and obviously this was a downhill situation. 45 miles an hour turns into 60 real fast.
Now, they want to put out something that they did update the reports last night. The jaws of life were not actually used to get him out of there.
Really? So I wonder, why was that reported so heavily at first?
Yeah, it was heavily reported at first, but later on, the sheriff walked it back and said that did not happen.
Okay. Well, they said he rolled 700 feet, which 700 feet at first is like, oh, that's not that much. But then you think about it, that's longer than 2 football fields.
Yeah.
Like, imagine rolling down 2 football fields at that high rate of speed. And it's crazy that he only came away with, I don't want to say minor injuries. They were severe injuries. He had to go right into surgery. And from what I read, it's not only his legs that were broken, his feet and ankles needed screws and pins as well.
Yeah, so he suffered fractures affecting both the upper and lower portions of the tibia and fibula bones, were stabilized by inserting the rod into the tibia, and then some injuries to the bones of the foot and ankle. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a compound fracture next to that bone was, coming right out. It reminded me of, I believe it was like one of the Kevin Ware in a basketball game. He had that a couple of years ago. The one thing I will say I'm glad about is, like, the bright side of it, if anything, is that it wasn't the same type of situation where he was pulled over or where he had his accident before. This one was just like, it was just honestly just an accident. They said he was lucid and coherent when they stopped, when they got to him, and he was pretty calm about everything. So that's, at least is that's the silver lining in anything.
Yeah, because that's kind of immediately where my mind went with it when I heard, Tiger Woods is in a car accident. You immediately flash back to when his wife, got him in a car accident, beating the hell out of his car with a golf club to supposedly get him out of it, and you're like, uh-oh. Here we go again. What's been going on in Tiger's life? And you immediately go back to that situation where it's like, oh, God, is he back with the whores again? And is he, traveling all over the world? Is he on drugs again? And it's crazy. It's sad that you have to have those thoughts, especially about like an entity like Tiger. But then you get back to all the struggles that this dude has overcome in his life, and this is another one that's put in his way.
And this is the one, say this. I don't know if he can physically recover from this one as far as going back to playing this sport. That one I'm not sure of, but it's like mentally, I think it's just an accident. So one that he thankfully survived. So
right.
I think he'll be able to go ahead and continue his life because there wasn't no foul play involved. They said they didn't see any immediate signs of drug or alcohol involved. So in that aspect, I think he'll be able to go on and sports. I don't know. At his age and having those type of injuries and how hard he trains, I think that it possibly could be the end on that.
Yeah, the saddest part for me on that is not like, it's really like the evolution of what him and his son were doing.
Yeah.
Like, that was such a cool story and such a fun thing to watch when, little Charlie Woods is out there wearing his little red, polo on Sundays, and he's got his little fist. But like Tiger really being happy again in life and enjoying golf, not only as a business, but like passing it on to the family, like it's the family business. Like,
Death. This is kind of like that situation right there is kind of mirroring Kobe as death. This is kind of like that situation right there is kind of mirroring Kobe as Tiger. As you can kind of say, Tiger Woods may be on his way out. He's passing the game and his knowledge on to see the similarities and like the bond and how they're picking up on the similarities and like the bond and how they're picking up on the mannerisms of their dad. So, man, it's just a unfortunate situation.
While we're just talking about this, about Kobe, like, it really gives me chills through my body because, I mean, just the way that Kobe went. Talking about this, about Kobe, like, it really gives me chills through my body because, I mean, just it's like you look at these comparisons, and I'm just so thankful it's a different outcome, and hopefully he has a. You look at these comparisons, and I'm just so thankful it's a different outcome, and hopefully he has a speedy recovery because for me, it's not like, oh, I want to see him back there. But like you said, you know, you want to see him actually able to live those memories and make memories with his children as a dad.
Yeah.
And then the also thing that also kind of messed up about it is, have anybody seen you guys seen the documentary that they did on him?
Yeah.
That just recently came out? To have this happen after that could not have been even worse timing. It's just like, wow.
And then we got up on the screen right now. This is a message from the Tiger Woods camp. It says, we thank everyone for the overwhelming support and messages during this tough time. As previously communicated, Tiger was involved in a single car accident earlier this morning in California. He has undergone a long surgical procedure on his lower right leg and ankle after being brought to the hospital. And here's a quote from the doctor. Joey, you read that earlier. Mr. Woods suffered significant orthopedic injuries to his right lower extremity that we treated during an emergency surgery by the orthopedic trauma specialist at Harbor UCLA Medical Center, a level 1 trauma center. What does that say? And
all these words. Listen, you're reading a doctor's message right now.
Yeah, no,
I don't even know that word. Comminuted.
Well, actually, throw that back up there, Art, because I want to finish at least the bottom part. And this is the part from his foundation at Harbor UCLA Medical in Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department and the Fire Department. Your support and assistance has been outstanding. There are no further updates at this time, and we continue to thank you for all your well wishes and privacy for him and his family. Updates and you've seen a lot of celebrities pouring out their support for him. All these different. Seen a lot of celebrities pouring out their support for him. All these different athletes who have been running, and we got some of their tweets, Art, if you want to throw those up real quick. And it's just, this affected everybody. You know, Magic Johnson, everyone send your prayers out to Tiger. He was just in a bad car accident. Let us pray for a speedy recovery. Tiger's accident, like, it's such an old man quote to include
Barbara and I.
Right, Barbara and I just heard about Tiger's accident, and it's such an old man quote to include
Barbara and I.
Right, Barbara and I just heard about Tiger's accident, and like anyone else, we're deeply concerned. We want to offer him our heartfelt supports and prayers at this difficult time. Please join us in wishing Tiger a successful surgery and all the best for a full recovery, which is great. And then Phil Mickelson, we're all pulling for you, Tiger. We're so sorry that you and your family are going through this tough time. Everyone hopes and prays for your full and speedy recovery. And then, you know, you got the former president. Get well soon, Tiger. You're a champion. He's trying to graphic of himself.
But what platform? Seriously, what platform did he do
I might
that?
be trying to be funny. Like, yeah, how the hell did he do that?
We got that, we got that through mail carrier pigeon. It just showed up to do
I
that.
might be trying to be funny. Like, yeah, how the hell did he do that?
We got that, we got that through mail. I was like, no, I didn't. And he pulls up like, he sent it out with a graphic?
I mean, that is his, you know, all jokes aside, that is his buddy. Like, you know,
and they are.
Yeah, before before he even got into politics, Donald Trump had a whole lot of celebrity and before all of the.
Well, he plays golf. He plays lots of golf, and Tiger Woods also plays lots of golf. So
even D Wade had that video.
He plays lots of golf, and Tiger Woods also plays lots of golf. So
even D Wade had that video where he was out there playing with Tiger Woods yesterday.
Yeah, I saw
that. That was crazy to me. Like, you see them both just there having a good old time, smiling, and little do you know, right after that little golf session, things like this could happen.
Yeah, and honestly, I was watching David Spade. He posted something on Instagram the other day about him and Tiger Woods, because Tiger was doing all this charity stuff. That's why he was in the area, and he was traveling to shoots. And David Spade did a funny little video. He's like, you know, hey, there's one of the best golfers in the world, and Tiger Woods, you know, like David Spade being David Spade. And it's weird. Life is so weird like that because, like, I watched that, and never in my brain did I think this could be the last thing I saw with Tiger Woods.
Yeah, that would have.
I have the worst problem ever because there was one time that I was texting somebody and they got in a really bad accident, and I didn't know, but they were texting while driving.
Texting you?
Texting me while driving.
Ooh.
Yep. So it's always been one of those things that anytime I send messages or things like that, you know, like that video with D Wade, little did he know that, like, that possibly could have been the last video, you know, things like that are so crazy to me. But anytime I send texts and things like that, I'm like, oh, well, I got to rephrase this. What if this is like the last text and I hate it? I can't get that out of me.
I mean, it's a great trait to have, though.
Yeah.
Like, you should treat everybody very delicately because, you know, as we learned with Kobe, and I'm sure as everybody on this panel or whatever you want to call this desk has learned through loss in life, that life is very fragile. Like, we are almost invincible sometimes as humans. We feel that we can pretty much do anything, and life feels long, but it's very short when you get to the end of it.
Yep.
And then when it's cut short even more by what happened to Kobe or what happened to other great athletes that had their life cut short, it's just, it really, you kind of have to reset and readdress how you treat people. And if you don't, then, I mean, that's kind of shows your character.
Yeah, I most definitely have had situations where I've lost friends, or I have friends, you know, currently not going to put their business out there, going through a session with them, but it's just like, I didn't realize that was going to be my last time talking to them. But it's just like, I didn't realize that was going to be my last time talking to them. I would have said, maybe I would have twisted this around or would have talked about this instead of that. So that's, you know, Joy, that's actually something really good to keep in mind, you know, just to always think about that, because you always have to be conscious of your words and how you speak to people, because you would just feel like total crap if you just went off on somebody when you could have showed some resolve, and then boom, those were your last words to that person.
Yeah. So make sure you think about that today when you're and also reach out to somebody that you haven't reached out to in a while, because, you know, not to get too sentimental, life is very short and you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So, Tiger Woods obviously was the biggest news. We're going to keep you up to date as much as we can throughout the day on all of our social platforms at Woodward Sports. And thank you guys for checking us out on all those platforms. Thank you to everybody who's downloaded the app, everybody that's watching right now on Facebook, on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you guys. We appreciate you. On to some good news.
Wait, I just want to send my last text to Stick in case anything.
Oh, thank you, Joey.
Stop being such a dick all the time.
That would be a nice thing to say, the last thing to me, Joey. But good news. Michigan State basketball last night.
Sheesh.
Can we talk about how Michigan State, like, literally brought themselves back from the dead last night during that game?
Truthfully, there's no better way to put this. I mean, the team was damn near 500 going into that game, 11-9, and it was a game that I thought no chance that they were going to be able to pull this off. But like you said, you called it. Just before tournament time, Izzo comes out to play.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I think Kory motivated Tom Izzo.
How did I do that? Oh, the overrated episode?
So Kory does Everything Is. It's a podcast that we carry, and we also play it. It plays back on Facebook on Saturdays at 11 a.m. And one of the things that they talked about were overrated people. And Kory, what'd you say about Tom Izzo?
January, February, overrated, April. That's just simple.
So Kory doesn't believe Tom Izzo deserves all the hype that he gets. But when you see games like last night, Kory, and you start to look at the calendar and you're like, oh, March is getting here. Michigan State looks to be getting into better shape after that game. How are you feeling?
Ride it out to the end. But I will say this. Do I think Izzo is a great coach? Absolutely. You don't really judge coaches by all of their national titles. You judge them by the Final Four appearances and, you know, how the athletes are putting out there. And you can't dispute Tom Izzo's results. But here's my thing. When they start putting him in trying to put him in the conversation with the Coach K's, then I'm like, let's bring that down just a little bit. He's great. He's not all-time great. Coach K is all-time great. So that's really when I just say he's overrated, because here in Michigan, a lot of Spartan fans or alumni, they try to put him in that Coach K class, and he's not there. But if you want to say he's one of the great college coaches of all time, I have no problem with saying that, because the proof is in the pudding. The players that he's put in the league and the things that he's done while at Michigan State. I would like to see him get college coaches of all time. I have no problem with saying that, because the proof is in the pudding. The players that he's put in the league and the things that he's done while his resume, like there is like, all right, I have 2 under my belt. What you gonna say now? But that was really,
Yeah, if he gets 2, he's definitely in that Coach K category.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's in the conversation now, but he's going to lose that battle.
See, even like Coach K, like you look at Duke basketball right now in this program.
2, he's definitely in that Coach K category.
It is so tough, but I mean, to your point, you look at Michigan State right now, and I do not want to see Izzo getting a win before Juwan Howard. Let's get that straight. Because I want Juwan Howard and Michigan to win it so badly this year, especially them going to be a #1 seed, hopefully. Like, just, there's so much there with that program.
Right. Yeah. Well, it was great to see that.
Because I want Juwan Howard and Michigan to win it so badly this year, especially.
Double. And it kind of got back to Michigan State type basketball. Just gritty, grind it out, be physical, take over the offensive boards. And you like to see that out of Michigan State. And like I said, I mean, you're looking, and it kind of got back to Michigan State type basketball. Just gritty, grind it out, be tomorrow.
If they win that, though.
If they win that, they're back in the tournament.
If the Spartans beat the Buckeyes, it's like, all right, it's getting real.
#2 seed in the tournament.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, Ohio State would have a #1 seed. You're talking if they beat them, give State the 2 seed?
That's what I'm saying. They just beat a #5 team in the country and then a #4 team in 2 freaking days.
Yeah, and then they got Maryland coming up on Sunday, then Indiana on Tuesday, and then next week, I love this. It's almost like they're playing back-to-back games with Michigan. They got Thursday, March 4th, and then Sunday, March 7th against Michigan.
I'm going to try to see if I can sneak either 2 or 1 of us in there.
Yeah, no, I would love to be at either of those games. But either way, if I get to watch it on my couch, I'm just as happy. But being in there for those games, because those are going to be battles.
Oh, have you ever been to a Michigan versus Michigan State game?
I haven't actually.
No.
I've been to one at Chrysler, and I believe I can't remember that. I think the Spartans lost that game. I can't remember, but I'll say this: that energy in there, it made me wish I went to a big school.
Yeah.
Because the rivalry, the fans, you just feel the whole intensity. I think the Spartan, it's just like it's unexplainable. But I don't know. Looking at here, you said they play on March 4th and March 7th.
Yep.
I'm just looking at State right now. If they beat Ohio State, they could actually win their next couple of games, and I think they could possibly split with Michigan. Here's why I say they would split that game, is because when it comes to Michigan and Michigan State, you have to throw records out the window. They could actually win because it just doesn't make sense if you're saying, oh, Michigan's the better team, so they'll win both of those games. You gotta throw the record out the window on that one. Both of those games in the same week that's gonna be a battle.
I love it. I wish they would do that more. College basketball is like a back-to-back. That'd be fun.
You know what, though, I don't want to see is them split the games. I want one team to win both games and just give the other program a little ass whooping, because you can't have a little tie between this rivalry of Michigan and Michigan State. You can't.
No. And then even if they do split, maybe they meet in the Big Ten tournament, and there will be your tiebreaker. That would be awesome.
I can't wait. This is the time. If you do not like college basketball around this time, something is wrong with you. It's just so many storylines.
10 tournament, and there will be your tiebreaker. That would be awesome.
I can't wait. This is the time. If you do not like college basketball around this time, something is wrong with you. It's just so many storylines and so many different scenarios of what can happen. I think it's better than now. That's the one thing I'll say that's better than NBA playoffs, college basketball time.
The tournament, yeah, tourney time, yeah.
That's probably the best playoffs or road to the championship in sports.
It is. It's at least the most celebrated. I mean, people get involved. I love when the reports come out about work hours and man hours missed in the workplace because of the NCAA tournament. And they you can live stream the game. They got the boss button for every time your boss walks in. It looks like you're actually doing something. You click it so they don't see that you've just been watching basketball for 5 hours. That was my kind of. Last year, I was actually against them having the whole NBA playoffs because I just thought that it's a weird season to kind of pick it back up after all that time. I wanted the NBA to do something similar to an NCAA style tournament where just for one off year, it's an NBA tournament championship and you have single game elimination. I think that would be something pretty sweet to see in the NBA. That would be amazing to see in the NBA. I would love to see just a bunch of Game 7s. So we'll find out about Michigan State and how they're going to do the rest of the time going into the Big Ten tournament. And these next 5 games for them are absolutely huge. Like we said, 2 of them against Michigan. So we got some fun in-state rivalry games that we're going to be talking about coming up very
I'm looking
soon,
to bring on another
right
HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate of
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
And welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody that's listening on the Woodward Sports app. Thank you for downloading it. And if you haven't downloaded it yet, it's absolutely free and available in your app store, coming to Android within the next week. So all you Android people, we got you covered too. But everybody that's on Apple that already has the app now, or you don't have the app, now is your chance to download it. And shout out to everybody checking in on YouTube, everybody checking in on Facebook, Twitter, and we appreciate you guys listening and watching every single morning. It's cool to see this thing grow because, we have a couple people over here on Twitter, a couple people over here on YouTube, a bunch of people on Facebook, and then, we found out about a couple thousand listening on the app already, which is pretty awesome.
And thanks for just downloading and supporting it. I mean, especially if you have not downloaded this app yet, just search Woodward Sports Network. And it's going to be the first one to pop there in the App Store. And like Stick said, coming soon on the Android for all 2 of you.
I'm just looking around the whole studio and just observing everything. And it's just to see where it started and where it's going to and continuing to rise each week. It's just man, to be a part of something like this is just so dope. And just watching everything just every day tweaking something, figuring something out all together.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So thank you guys for bearing with us on audio issues, on all that stuff, on video issues. Some people are commenting right now that they could hear me talk during the commercials. We'll figure that out coming up. And guys, remember that we're always on a hot mic here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so watch what you say.
Did you hear what Stick just said during that commercial? Oh, boy.
So good thing we're not all assholes here and coming across as different people.
I do love that, though, about those. It's the person you thought was the nicest, biggest sweetheart.
Yeah.
Goes to commercial break. They start cussing out their camera producers and operators and everybody. It's great.
Yeah, I love those on YouTube to watch those hot mic takes too. What is his name? The guy. Fuck it, we're doing it live. Bill O'Reilly. Yeah, he was down at a live event and he was like, all right, we're going live, and he was trying to record it and he couldn't record it and he's like, fuck it, we'll do it live, and that's one of my favorite quotes of all time.
So that's your favorite hot mic moment?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah, for sure.
Mine is definitely the one with Jesse Jackson.
Oh,
he did not know that Mike was going, and he said he wanted to cut Barack Obama's balls off, something like that. I thought that was hilarious.
What?
You never heard of that?
Hell no.
Yeah, he said something about it was a big controversy.
Well, I could imagine. Was this when Obama was president?
Yeah, when he was running. And that's why I thought it was so fake when they panned to him and he had the tears in his eyes. I'm like, get the F out of here. Joke.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that is definitely a hot mic moment, and that's something you got to worry about. Anytime there's a microphone, everybody, you should be aware that thing can be accessed by somebody somewhere, because in the digital era, they can just log in and turn your mic on. Let's talk about somebody who got robbed last night.
Who got robbed yesterday?
Jerami Grant.
Oh,
Detroit
man.
Piston forward. Absolutely robbed. Should have been an all-star, and he did not make it. And we can look at who did make the reserve list. For the West, you got Anthony Davis. Tough to argue with that. Paul George, Rudy Gobert, Dame Lillard. Tough to argue there. Donovan Mitchell, Chris Paul, and Zion. I mean, those guys should all be all-stars. Like, there's no doubt about that. Maybe Rudy Gobert, I could do without him. But then you look at the East, and this is where, obviously, Jerami Grant would have fit in. You got Jaylen Brown, James Harden, Zach LaVine, Julius Randle, Ben Simmons, Jason Tatum, and Nikola Vucevic.
I'm looking at that. I'm looking at it, and I'm going to be honest. There is not one person on the East I would take off and put Jerami Grant on there.
There's two.
Outside of Vucevic, every player that's reserve, their team is in the playoffs. And then in Nikola's case, he's 24 and 11 this season,
right?
And like 40% shooting from beyond the arc. So it's kind of hard to take him off of there. But Jerami Grant, he's doing. I mean, the Pistons are now 9-22. He's 20th in the league. You know, he's in the top 20s of the scorers in the league. 23.3 points per game. Top 20 in blocks. Top 20 in minutes. Minutes doesn't really mean anything to me, but you know, he's out there being a workhorse. I'm just looking at the list again. I mean, would you take off Ben Simmons? I don't know if I would take him off. Would you take off Tatum? Couldn't take off Tatum. I don't know where Jerami Grant would fit in on there.
Julius Randle is the guy I would take off and put.
Really?
It's his first one. How you gonna take away his first All-Star?
It'd be Grant's first one too. Who gives a hell? Like, I don't care about Julius Randle. I mean, I know his mom sent him a nice message when he got, you know, the acknowledgement for being an all-star.
I don't know.
But that is the one guy. I know. And then I went in and I did some digging. They both averaged the same points. Julius Randle shooting a little bit better from the field, a little bit better from three. He averages about, 10 rebounds. Grant only 5 rebounds. But Grant also averages over a block a game and 3 assists. And I don't know, man. I just feel like Grant is a much better player, but obviously this all boils down to where they're seated. And right now the Knicks are in the 7 slot. Even though that team is awful, I don't know why.
They're not going to do anything in the playoffs.
No. So that's why if I was to take somebody off, or maybe even Zach LaVine, like I know he lit us up in the third quarter that one game, but outside of that, Zach LaVine really hasn't impressed me too much this year.
And a lot of these, he's been balling out this season.
Yeah,
you can't deny that.
More than Jerami Grant.
Yeah, it pains me to say it because he's on the Bulls, but Zach LaVine is a bucket.
No, I know. Listen, none of these guys are bad basketball players. That's not the debate that we're having. I'm just saying I think Grant means a little bit more than LaVine does to his team.
I'll say this. If the Pistons were an 8th seed and it was kind of like the same scenario, then I would go ahead and I would put Jerami Grant on and have Zach LaVine off.
One thing that bothers me, though, about this, Kory, is they're not putting into into the discussion the fact that Jerami Grant has not had a solid starting lineup this entire season, and he's still been able to do what he's doing.
I think they're just looking at it that he's putting up in the voters' minds. I'm just assuming they're thinking he's putting up numbers on a bad team, so somebody has to do it. That's the only thing I can really think of because, granted, by the metrics and by everything that we're looking at, Jerami Grant is an all-star. It's you can't argue it, but at the same time, his stats have not contributed to winning basketball. So I think that had the Pistons pulled the trigger on some of the moves they made a little bit earlier, like choosing to sit a Blake Griffin, choosing to go ahead and move on from a Derrick Rose, the Pistons might have a few more wins, and then Jerami Grant might have a better case because, look, the Magic are not in the playoffs. So let's say the Pistons have 12 wins instead of 9 wins because the Magic only have 13. I think then you might have a case for Jerami Grant getting in, and maybe Nikola's not in there. So it's just one of those weird things that's unfortunate.
What's up, Bart?
I completely disagree with Kory. I think that it's called the All-Star Game, focusing on individual athletes. So if you're an individual athlete, no matter if you're on a shitty team or not, You're putting up points that normal athletes aren't doing, so why isn't Grant in there?
It's tough, though, because, I mean...
It's a good point.
It is a good point, but it's not a stat-based thing. Like, you could always be the best player on the worst team and ball out, and then obviously the numbers are going to look good. You got nobody else on the team.
It doesn't matter. You're putting up points. Like, you
are
a star athlete for that team.
They look at everything.
But
You have to.
the All-Star game is for the fans. And granted, they already had the fan vote. That's where the starters were. But the All-Star game is for the fans. And Jerami Grant is producing numbers, but he's not on the winning team. So the fans are going to want to see the best players, the best winners during the All-Star game. And unfortunately, Jerami Grant does not fit that mold at this time.
Yeah, and a lot of time All-Star nods are for what you did the previous year too.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of retroactive All-Stars, you know, because normally it's like, oh, you get put on the map this year, and then next year he'll be an All-Star, and I understand that. But honestly, the guy's impressed the hell out of everybody. Like you said, he's in the top 20 in the league in scoring. You know, he rebounds, he defends. He's just blossomed into a great player. So you would have liked to see him get the reward. And like I said, you know, if I'm pulling anybody off this, it's Julius Randle, because the Knicks suck too, so it doesn't really matter.
They just suck a little bit less.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So Julius Randle makes it because the Knicks suck less. Like,
and the thing is, the East is so bad that just a couple of games went through. Like, if the Pistons don't blow a couple of those leads, they're in the mix of being in the playoffs, and then we can really say, oh, Jerami Grant got snubbed. But then again, he may not have been snubbed.
Right.
I mean, looking at records wise, we're about 5 games out. You know, I got to do the research to see the game comparisons and who's above each other. But I mean, it's just what makes me sad, and truthfully, I could care less about the All-Star game, because Jerami Grant is an All-Star in my eyes, and I'm sure in all of Detroit sports fans' eyes. But how are you going to say that?
He's talking to
Adam's in the background over there. No, he's not. Talk on a mic if you're going to say something.
Yeah, there's rules to this studio. One of them is don't just yell shit from the back of the room. This is why.
Go ahead, Adam. Why do you think he's not an All-Star? Turn the mic on over there. Why?
You have to talk.
You don't just say, no, he's not, and not talk.
What do you want, Joey?
Why do you think he's not an All-Star, especially over Julius Randle?
And so, what's your definition of an All-Star?
What the definition of an All-Star?
It's
what
not Jerami Grant.
Explain why you think that he does not deserve it more than a Julius Randle, for example.
Worst or second worst record in the NBA.
Take that away from it. We're talking about the All-Star individual
team. Let's see. His plus minus is very, very below average. He's only averaging 23, 5, and 3. That's not an All-Star. That's maybe an All-Star reserve, maybe. Like, saying he's an All-Star, it's just no.
But you got to look at everything around Jerami Grant, because the guy's putting up like 25 points a game.
No, 23. 23 points a game.
23
5 rebounds,
23 points a game.
It's nothing magical. He's not playing on a shit team and averaging 30 points. Like, he's just good. He's a good, maybe a good 2 on a good team.
You played sports in your entire life, right? Imagine having to play a season every single game with a different person in your starting lineup and still having to perform the way that he's performing consistently.
He's not performing consistently as an All-Star. I don't know how more clear I can be.
Yeah,
you're making excuses for him. I don't understand why. He's not an All-Star. He's just not.
Well, that's clear now.
I mean, we know that.
Yeah. Like, the coaches made sure that he's not an All-Star.
Not an All-Star.
So
I'm not saying he is an All-Star. I'm just saying he's worthy.
He's not worthy. Maybe as the last spot reserve.
That's what we were going for.
Maybe.
That's what he was going for yesterday. Was the reserve spot.
Not an All-Star. He's not an All-Star.
All right. Well, we know he's not an All-Star now. Hopefully next year he'll be an All-Star. And like I said, usually it's a retroactive thing. I agree with your point, Joey, that he is playing, that he's doing well, and he should have gotten at least a consideration. And I wonder what the voting was on that. I wonder if he even got a couple votes. Hopefully that comes out and we find out who else was close to being an All-Star. But either way, Jerami Grant, not an All-Star this year. Hopefully next year. But you know who is an All-Star?
Who is?
Levels Provisioning Center.
Yeah.
I love Levels. They're opening up in Ferndale, 9 Mile in Hilton. We're actually going to go check it out on Monday, Joey, and shoot some videos for them. They haven't opened up yet. They're going to open up sometime around Easter. So make sure you go check them out right now on Instagram. It's @EnjoyLevels. @EnjoyLevels. Give them a follow. They got some cool content up there. And make sure you follow us at Woodward Sports everywhere, too. So did you guys hear about the beef?
The beef.
The beef? I know Kory heard about the beef because you had a pretty funny tweet about the beef yesterday.
Oh, yeah. That was a good freaking tweet.
What? The beef.
The beef.
The beef.
Meek Mill and Vanessa Bryant.
What an idiot.
So
this whole thing, I mean, yes, idiot, but there's so much to this. Like, why is the first question? Why?
Because he's Meek Mill, first of all.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know who Meek Mill is, he's a rapper.
Yeah, Joey.
Yeah.
That Meek Mill, he is a rapper.
He's a rapper, and several years ago, he got into a battle rap with Drake, and Drake kind of snatched the life from him. And he's slowly come back and become relevant again in the rap community. He actually did a song with Drake that was absolute fire, and he's been relevant again. Because, you know, he got destroyed by the line, is that a world tour or your girls tour, when he was opening up for Nicki Minaj while he was dating Nicki Minaj. So Meek Mill decides to put out a song, and in it is this line. This bitch I'm fucking always tell me that she love me, but she ain't ever show me. Yeah, if I ever lack, I'm going out with my chopper. It'll be another Kobe.
I think it's just too soon. That's the only thing. It's like
I think it's a dope line, though.
It is. I like the line, the reference, but then at the same time, I could see Vanessa Bryant obviously getting insulted by it just because of the usage of the reference.
Yeah, that's what she said. I find this line to be extremely insensitive and disrespectful, period.
Have there been more disrespectful lines in rap history? Yes.
Yeah.
There have been way more. I think. And, you know, they talked about Rosa Parks, Emmett Till. The list goes on. Heck, you know, Eminem made some references about Sonny Bono hitting trees. You know,
that wasn't bad. Like one of the worst lines I ever heard was Ja Rule to Eminem, and I'm not even about Haley and his mom.
Hey, I still say that is. I don't care. Nobody says he may not be the greatest rapper, but that is top 3 most disrespectful verses ever Ja Rule has.
Yeah, you can't go at a kid. You can't go after the kid.
He did.
That was epic.
Yeah.
But to the point is just that I think where Meek Mill messed up is on several occasions. One, Meek Mill is from Philly. Who else is from Philly? Kobe. How are you gonna? You know, while I see why you're trying to pay homage, it's a little bit too. It's too soon for that reference. You know, if a rapper 15 years from now makes that reference, okay, cool. It's just over a year. People are still grieving on it. Little less, you know, about. As the anniversary came up a couple of weeks ago, she politely asked the media to not talk about, you know, show pictures of or reference the accident in bad fashion, and then this lyric comes out. So while I understand what Meek Mill was trying to do, it was just too soon to make that type of reference. Just, you know, dope line, but just way too soon.
Yeah, and it's almost like, I don't want to say untouchable, but Kobe's untouchable. Like, just
there are some people who are just untouchable.
Yeah, like keep the name out your mouth. It's real easy. Just keep the name out your mouth. Like,
and also too, just because there have been more disrespectful lines in rap, that doesn't make it any better. I mean, just because somebody there's a lot of stuff that we did 5, 10, even 15 years ago that was back then socially acceptable that is now not socially acceptable. This is just one of those things where he could have just used better judgment.
Yeah, and you know, but your tweet yesterday kind of got me. It was what was it? Somebody better tell Meek Mill.
Somebody better tell Meek Mill to not make a Tiger Woods bar right now.
Yeah. And honestly, there were a lot of Tiger Woods jokes running through yesterday too, and the internet is just absolutely brutal. You know, I saw some about Tiger Woods needing a better driver and stuff like that. It was like, oh. It's funny, but not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. I'm going to laugh about that in a couple weeks, but not yet. Dude just got out of surgery.
Now we can laugh about it. We know he's better.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just timing on jokes is everything.
And I mean, I think though, back to this, like with the whole Meek Mill issue right now, it's obvious that he knew what he was doing. He goes to this reference because he knew this would happen.
Yeah, well, that's what Meek said. He's like, I'm going to get back on my battle rap stuff. And it's like, dude, you're battling a dead guy now? Like, that makes no sense.
I think where Meek Mill really did himself disservice was how he acted after there was outrage about the line. His tweets after that, like, all y'all in y'all feelings, and then he had to go and delete that one, which I'm sure he did, and he just went on the defensive mode instead of just understanding what people were trying to say to him. And in that situation, he would have just been better off just not saying anything as opposed to doubling down on it. But they, he did say he spoke to her privately, and they've kind of mended the fences on that. So
and
at least that's good.
I wonder if she's going to listen to his music finally.
That's the best. That's the best part.
I'm not familiar with your music, kind sir, but you're a dick. So
it was just a really like where okay. Here's my thing. Where are some of these? This goes for athletes and celebrities in general. Where are some of their friends around them just saying, "Hey, I don't think that's a good idea, man." Like there should always be somebody near you who is trying to, like in Allen Iverson's case. Allen Iverson was spending all of his money. One of his boys took some of his money and put it up for him, so now that Iverson wouldn't be broke as he got older because he was spending frivolously. Where are some of your friends that are just stepping in and intervening on your behalf and saying, hey, that's not a good idea. Just back off of that.
Do you really think he has like peer friends or just a bunch of dudes that are along for the ride though? Because
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you have to really examine your circle.
Yeah.
If you would just have a bunch of yes men around you that say, yo, that's dope, yo, that's dope. No, somebody has to be the voice of reason, like, hey man, don't do that. I have plenty of friends when I may post something that is crazy. I'll say, Emmanuel, my frat brother Emmanuel, he will straight up send me a text, Kory.
Calm down.
Yeah, or hey, I don't think that's a good look for you, brother. Something like that. You need people like that.
Here's the thing, though, is that it's the battle rap culture. Like, he comes from the battle rap culture, and I'm not trying to be like that guy right now, but was it a terrible line? Yes, absolutely. But terrible is based off of opinion. So it's like, what could be a good line to someone could be sensitive to other people. It's like, where is that line? Especially coming from where he comes from, of being a battle rap veteran.
Right.
I think it's more so as is not the line that is really getting people in feathers ruffled, because again, 15 years from now, somebody uttered that same line. I don't think it's the same outrage. I think it's the timing. It's just over a year that the unfortunate accident took place, and you use that right now while it's still sensitive. I mean, right now we're on the anniversary of the actual funeral.
Time. I mean, comedy is timing, and it's just, I don't know.
You gotta use discernment.
I wasn't offended by it, but I could see why Vanessa Bryant would be.
Oh, definitely.
And I was like, actually, I thought it was a good line.
Truthfully, here's the thing: is she didn't even really know who Meek Mill is. It sounds like, so that's where she takes the extra disrespect to it.
Vanessa knows who Meek Mill is.
I
she
hope
was just
so.
throwing out like what she had to do to make him look like.
She probably knows. She just snuck that jab in there, like, all right, you went there. All right, I'm gonna hit you real quick.
Right. Well, so we'll see how that whole beef works out. I want to see Vanessa release a diss track. That's what I want to see out of this. Let's do this. Let's take a 15-second break. When we come back, it is now time for Adam's bets of the day. And I think he had a pretty decent night last night, too. He called that Michigan State game. So we'll get into our bets coming up next on the Woodward Sports
Network.
Hey,
it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking Thorogood boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off. Hey, it's Joey from...
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you to everybody who has downloaded our app, which is now available on Apple App Store, and it's absolutely free. And that is a lot of apps that I just said in one sentence, but it is absolutely free. You can download it today, listen to it with your friends, listen to it in the car, and tell everybody about our new app that is out, and everybody watching us on social media. Thank you guys for bearing with us this morning. Some tech issues, but not only is Adam our tech solver, he is also the guy that can make you some money with some bets. And how'd you do last night, Adam?
Last night was a good night. We went 3-2. Called the big Michigan State upset.
Oh, you're already predicting the tomorrow Ohio State upset. Okay, I like that.
We'll see. We'll save that for tomorrow. But the Cavaliers fluke win last night against the Atlanta Hawks. That cost us a game. The Red Wings Nashville Predators game went under, so that hurt. So we missed out on those two, but we hit the rest. We did good last night.
Nice.
How'd you think about the Michigan State game, Joey?
Man, that game was great. Anytime somebody can have more rebounds than points, I'm gonna fall in love with this person. So it's like, especially not just points, because that does happen a lot.
Yeah, Langford's the man though.
But when you could put up 15 points and then beat that with 16 rebounds, like, it was just a great all-around team effort. And the defense is something that I noticed was just really strong yesterday, and that's the Izzo way too.
Langford had a great start to the game. I remember looking maybe 7-8 minutes into the game. He already had 7 points and 7 boards, and I was like, "Oh, State are playing well. This might happen. Then they went into halftime up 10, and the rest is history.
Good pick on that one, Adam.
Yeah. Well, we got different games.
Yeah.
Today.
What else you got, buddy?
We're gonna make some more money today. So, I came on this show yesterday, and I told everybody, for the rest of your lives, whenever the Cleveland Cavaliers play, you bet against them.
And what they do?
Yesterday, I was wrong about it. But they're playing again tonight. All right? They're playing against the Houston Rockets. They're a 1.5 underdog. We don't care. We're going to take the Rockets straight up to win. That is... Every time the Cavaliers play, guys, you have to bet against them.
That's the rule around here.
This is the rule. Just bet against them. 80% of the time you're going to win, and you can't go broke making a profit.
Cavs are winning out
Imagine.
rest of the season.
They go on and win 40 games. But after that, we got Detroit action tonight. Pelicans, Detroit Pistons tonight. Pelicans are huge favorites, and I'm going to go with the Pelicans. I'm not worried about a potential all-star carrying the Pistons tonight, so that's not a worry for me. Pelicans have this covered. They're minus.
Why'd you use air quotes?
Air quotes?
Why'd you use air quotes?
Because he's not an all-star. Are you guys sitting here defending Jerami Grant as if he's an all-star?
He is an all-star.
He's not.
He's an all-star in my heart.
God damn your heart, man. You're killing me, bro.
God damn your heart.
Well, anyways, I have the Pistons losing tonight fairly easily to the Pelicans. I'm taking the Pelicans straight up. And another team I'm taking straight up in basketball tonight is going to be the Golden State Warriors.
Nice.
They are playing the Indiana Pacers, who I'm actually a big fan of. I think they're a super, super solid team.
Yeah, you love Sabonis.
If anybody got snubbed off the All-Star reserve list, it was Sabonis.
Yep, that was your boy, man. You love Sabonis.
Yeah, I think he's a great player.
He's not an all-star.
You're all-star.
Not an all-star.
All-star.
Don't talk to me about all-star snubs.
Not an all-star.
He didn't make it. He's not an all-star.
Bring up Jerami Grant.
Please tell me, why is he an all-star? Not an all-star.
I love Joey's impersonation of me sometimes.
No, Fish got the best Adam impersonation in the world.
Fish has the best impersonations of everybody that works here. His Joik impersonation is on point.
Mm-hmm. Normally, impersonations of yourself, you feel a little bit offended. But with Fish, you don't.
No, it's an honor.
Well, I got 2 more games left.
Who we got?
One of them Fish is going to love. We've got soccer action tonight, actually. It's European soccer, if I'm correct. We're going to take Tottenham Hotspur to win straight up. Fish is dying laughing. No.
I'm laughing because it reminds me of that meme I sent you and Fish that I would have had no idea what that fucking meme meant if it wasn't for you two.
What was it?
It was somebody on a golf course, and like somebody handed them a Tottenham, and it said, "Oh, you need a small club." And like I would have never gotten that joke, but because these two talk so much soccer and bet soccer, I'm like, "Oh, it's a small soccer club.
Exactly.
I get it."
Exactly. Well, we're gonna take them to win straight up today. They play at noon actually, so we'll have early results for that game. And then we're going to finish off the night with the St. Louis Blues playing the Los Angeles Kings.
All right.
I've got them winning straight up. And those are 5 games I'm very, very, very confident in. And if you're feeling lucky and you want to parlay them all together and take a big risk, you bet $20, you can walk out with $260.
Nice.
And as you can see on the screen, guys, we went 3-2 last night. We're 30-13 up so far since we've started this. We're looking good. You can't go broke being 30-13. You put $10 on each game. We hit 3 out of 2. You're walking away with a nice profit.
Well, and you hit on the big game last night, the Michigan State game. So you put $10 on that game. It's going to pay off a lot more than some of the favorites that you pick, too. So if you hit on some of those underdog games, that's where the money comes in.
Yeah, I'll start sharing my screenshots of my bets, not just the initial bets, but the post bets. Because last night I put 100 on the Pistons to go over, and they didn't. But because I had 50 on State covered my whole night.
There's nothing I get pissed about when I pick the right team to win, but I take the point spread on it. I hate it.
Yeah, your best odds usually on point spread is a super favorite that you're just confident they're going to win by 10. They're going to win by 8. There's no chance. Or it's, this team, I get 12.5 points to start the game, so I'm already up 12 points. If they make it a close game, I'm set. And if they win, obviously you're more than set. So you got to play. I'll help you, Joey.
Listen, I need the help.
Well, you're helping everybody right now, man, because if I was 30-13 and had those betting lines, I would be very happy. I've done okay a little bit here and there. I'm not going to get too far into it, but I've been doing all right.
Oh, you have, for real?
Your boy's been doing all right.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Have you hit a big one yet? A big parlay?
No, not a big parlay, but normally when I break down the games and I select like 3, I can predict who's going to win pretty successfully.
Ooh.
I would like to take on Adam. Maybe we'll do a week challenge one time.
I'm down. I'm always down.
A Monday through Friday
week
challenge.
Let's do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, maybe next week we'll start that. Have some fun.
All right.
We'll compare.
Cool.
We'll compare our picks.
All right. The pro versus the Joe.
Yeah, pro versus me.
Wait, so I'm in on this then because I get to be the Joe. I get to be the average Joe.
The average Joey. So yeah, if you are into gambling and you want to bet, make sure you go to mybookie.com. That is where Adam pulls off all of his bets from. There's some great prop bets on there, and you can also play blackjack, and you can also play roulette, which I find myself randomly hopping on the blackjack table for about 15 minutes each day. And we've been doing well at the blackjack table, too. So mybookie.com, your first deposit will be matched up to 50%. So if you put in $1,000, you're getting a free $500. And this isn't one of those, like, we're going to give you $500 to gamble, but you're not going to get that $500. You're only going to get it if you win. Like, no. You gamble it. That's your money. You got to gamble it. You put it in. You get your money out, and it's great.
There's a big difference between MyBookie and the way other betting platforms work. So they'll say they'll match up every dollar. That's true, but you have to bet every single dollar that you've put in. So if you put in $1,000 and they match it, you can't even touch it until you've gambled away the $1,000, which for most people they lose it. So what's the point with MyBookie? You deposit your money, use code Woodward, you put in $100, they'll give you the $50, and you're free to do whatever you want with it.
Yep.
No restrictions, nothing. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's awesome. So
listen, I love MyBookie so much, but that casino part.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, you look at the convenience, especially right now. You want to stay home, stay safe. You can play wherever you go. I like doing more of the sports betting because MyBookie costed me a $50 shit the other day. I'm sitting on the toilet and all of a sudden I lose $50 playing blackjack and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, but it could also turn into a $200 win.
I haven't had a $200 shit yet.
Joey,
I only had a $50 shit.
You'll get it, man.
I'll speak from experience.
You got to learn how to play blackjack first, too.
One, you got to learn how to play blackjack.
I know how to
Number
play.
2, your odds are super low if you're trying to play blackjack through a phone, man. Just don't even bother. It's not worth the loss, especially if you're going to put that kind of money up there.
What are you guys talking about? I do
Listen,
so
Stick,
well
not
at
everybody
blackjack.
is you.
No,
we're talking to
I'm
Joey
the only
right
one
now.
that's not lucky on
Because Joey
this one.
plays blackjack where he's trying to get
He's
21.
just hitting. I know.
He's always trying to get 21. He
What do
doesn't
you
understand
mean?
when the dealer's holding and what he's showing and
Test
what you
me.
have in your
Test
hand.
me. I know how to do this.
Okay, you have an ace showing and the dealer has a 6. What are you doing?
I'm hitting it. What do you mean?
All right. Well, you got a soft. Okay.
Yeah, I would double it because it's against the 6.
I don't know those rules.
That's how you make money in blackjack, though.
I don't know doubles and all that.
That's how you make money in blackjack.
I don't know that.
Can we please do a video where you and I teach Joey blackjack?
Listen, Joey right now is acting like Maz when it comes to over-unders. Maz sitting there complaining about over-unders are stupid. No, they're not. Go look at the teams.
I'm not saying
Go
it's
see
stupid.
how-
It ain't
what-
me. It ain't me.
You just said.
No, I'm not saying it ain't me. All I know in sports is I just want to win the game. I don't want to win the game by 1.
Then stay away from blackjack.
And all you know in blackjack is you want to win the hand.
No, let me tell you why I get pissed.
You want to bust the dealer. That should be the name of blackjack, not blackjack. It's called bust the dealer.
And no, why I get pissed with this over and under is, since when is there .5s in basketball?
They're not.
There ain't no .5s. So I lose by a .5. I get so pissed.
God.
I
Joey,
get
what
so
are we doing?
pissed.
What are we doing right now? They have to put the half point.
I know, but they know they're so good at doing what they do.
But otherwise, there will be pushes and nobody wins.
I
That's
know,
why they do the half
but
point.
I get pissed is what I'm saying.
Then pick better.
Then start your own bookie agency and do it without the half points and see how screwed you get.
Listen, no, I love my bookie, but I only like doing money lines.
Okay.
Sometimes when I'm feeling lucky, I'll do the over and under.
So if you're like Joey and only like doing money lines, my bookie can take care of you too. If
Or
you're an advanced
you can
gambler,
listen to me.
if you like to play blackjack like Art and myself, you can hop on, and my bookie is just a lot of fun. Don't listen to Joey. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing at the blackjack table.
I do.
No, he doesn't.
Listen, there's a game called Fish. I like that. You ever play Fish? No, War. War is my game. I was thinking Go Fish.
Joey crushes it at high-low.
I love that game. I love it.
Either way, it is now time for Joey's news. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Man, listen, it was definitely a crazy day for sports. Starting it off with what we just talked about a few minutes ago, Tiger Woods. Thankfully, we did get the update from his team late last night that things are looking a lot better for Tiger, and he is on the road to recovery, but he spent a lot of time. And what's crazy about the whole thing is it happened so early in the morning, and we didn't find out about this until a little bit later in the day.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, that's kind of the way it should go. Like,
100%.
You know, with Kobe, TMZ found out and released it before even the cops could say who was in the crash and stuff like that. And that's how Vanessa Bryant found out that her husband died, was through TMZ, which should be nobody's fate. So, yeah, it was more they were able to keep his identity secured until they had to release what the accident was.
Yep. And we talk about the Detroit Pistons now, switch things over there. The Magic, they got their little booty beat by the Pistons, which is always good.
That's right.
The Pistons beating the Magic 105-93. We talked about Jerami Grant getting snubbed from the All-Star. He is not an All-Star, but an All-Star in Stick's heart.
Yes, he is.
And that is all that matters.
That is.
One guy, though, who did make it, Julius Randle. And I want to play this little clip because it was so cute. His mama recorded a little video for him that they played during the game on the Jumbotron. I just wish that there was like a whole ton of fans because that would have been a moment like unforgettable.
Hi, Julius.
I want to say the NBA is kind of killing it with.
I just want to
Okay,
say
go ahead.
that
Say what you
I
want to
love
say.
you so
the NBA
much,
is killing
and
it
I'm
with
so
these
proud of the
videos,
son
as
and
like
the
these video
teammate
packages
that
they did
you
with the
are.
Lakers. You know, they were
Continue
presenting
to
the
grind.
guys were getting their rings and the families, you know, congratulate them or whatnot. I think the NBA needs to kind of do more of these things where they involve the families to announce awards or landmarks to the players.
Yeah, as long as the families are down to do it. I mean, you don't know whose family life and what's going on, but yeah, that was a very sweet moment with his mom doing that.
Yeah, it was so great. We'll show that video in a little bit. But then the 76ers, they did beat the Raptors 109-192, but we got to shout out Baines for this play of the year in my eyes. It's so great. So he dishes the ball.
It's tough to shoot backwards, but he did it.
But, hey, you got to respect him for knowing the rule where it's like, all right, I can't get the ball. He boxes out his guy and then, look, gets the ball back and
gets the dunk. You love that out of Big Baines.
I love that play.
Yeah.
Such a good, just fundamental hustle on that. Michigan State upsetting number 5 Illinois last night, beating them by 9 points. And then the big game is going to be tomorrow. They take on number 4 Ohio State. So let's see how this goes because, I mean, this is time for Izzo. This is the Izzo time.
Izzo trying to make me eat that crow from that Everything Is episode.
He's gonna, man.
I see what he's doing. I'm on to the tricks.
Oh, and you got to like Michigan State playing Ohio State because, you know, Michigan just whooped up on them. If Michigan State can, it's nice that the whole state gets in on this gang beating.
Yeah, just sharing.
Anybody but Ohio State. I don't care. I'm not a big Spartan fan, but anytime a school is going up against Ohio State, that's the school I'm cheering for.
Yeah. Were you going to be cheering for J.J. Watt in the NHL, though, Kory?
In the NHL.
Imagine.
What?
Fish was geeked about this. He asked me about this 7 times yesterday.
It was just breaking the internet on Twitter. A lot of people saying that J.J. Watt might be going to the NHL, and I was like, wait, what? And then I see this video from a while ago. The goalie was so scared that he moved out the way from a J.J. Watt slap shot.
What a wuss.
Yeah, that goalie really made the video, though, because anybody could take a slap shot from 30 feet away and rocket it into the net. But the goalie just completely diving out of the way like that, like his life was on the line, was hilarious.
I just want to see 6'5", 290-pound J.J. Watt on ice.
Dude's from Minnesota, or Wisconsin, that's where he grew up, and you know he played ball at Central Michigan for a while. So cold doesn't scare the Watts.
It's just crazy to me though that this is even being talked about. But hey, why not? I'm all for it. So let's make that happen. And one more thing I want to talk about is Bridge Street Exchange in downtown Fenton, and it is my place to shop. You see me rocking the Carhartt today. You go in the back of this store. They have the most amazing little man cave of a Carhartt warehouse. Such a wide selection back there. They also got them Thorogood boots. It's a warm day today, but you still need the boots to keep your feet warm, especially during this cold Detroit winter. And they got the Detroit Grooming Company for your beard. Just check them out right now. You can even go online, actually. BridgeStreetExchange.com. Use code word WSN and take advantage of our 15% off for your entire order.
15% off. That's great,
Just
man.
use WSN.
I need to get those boots. Like, for real. I know we've been joking about it because Woody ate my boots, but I need to go get those boots.
Me too. I need to invest in some real man boots.
Yeah, you do.
Like having like Alan and everybody in the studio like working. We were talking about shoes the other day, and it's like I'm always wearing like just some regular basic shoes in the snow, and it's like all the snow gets in your socks and all that.
Yeah, the salt ruins your shoes.
Yeah,
not those boots though.
I gotta step up and be a man.
So every week, Joey and I go out around Metro Detroit and we do a Coney review, and this is what, our 4th one now? Fifth one now, wow. And every week people suggest places to go, and you know, we started out at American Coney because that is, like, to me, the apex of Coneys in Detroit. You know, we went to Pontiac, we've been to Detroit, and this week we went out to Rochester because a lot of people have been talking about La Pumas.
It's just been like, obviously every time we do one of them, we want your recommendations. Where should we go next?
Right.
And they just, Mitch especially, kept saying, La Pumas, you got to go to La Pumas, Coney Island. They're the best. And
man, y'all keep going to all these Coneys and don't bring back nothing.
Nope.
Nothing.
Got to come with us, Kory.
Come with us next week, Kory.
Man, all right.
We brought some back for Maz the other day, and Sean Baligian, because Baligian does the smoke show.
See?
And Baligian's like, I always bring you guys food with the smoke show, but y'all don't bring me anything.
Listen, Kory, the only way you can do this, though, is if you give your honest review of how the Wiener Snap is.
Yep.
With a straight face. I need you talking about the Wiener Snap, Kory.
So, for real, that is one of the criteria of the Coneys, and let's play back the video. We went to downtown Rochester on Monday. It was great. It was a nice day out. Finally, we got a little bit of sun.
It wasn't a good day.
Why?
We were driving through downtown Rochester, and they were taking off the Christmas lights.
Oh, that's true, and it broke Joey's heart.
I was sad.
But let's play back the Coney review right now.
There's been a lot of hype about this one, Stick. Yeah, we've heard a lot about La Pumas since we started doing Coney reviews. People request it every week for us to go try out. So here we are, downtown Rochester on Main Street. La Pumas, they got the legit sign. Since 1969, they've been going at it. And as you can tell, we're right on Main Street right now with the cars going on behind you. So let's go into La Pumas. Let's try these Coneys.
Hey! Alright, so this place got a lot of history, right? So I just figured out that Tony, the owner, his dad, La Puma, just passed away a few weeks ago on top of that. So this place got all the history, and they're worldly known for these Coney dogs.
I gotta tell you, the energy in this place has been crazy. We walked in, they're like, you the Woodward sports people? They've been nothing but nice to us, but
Coney dogs
does not help their score. The dogs still gotta be good.
Nope, we are not biased whatsoever.
You ready to do this, Joey?
That's what I am. I was about to go eat some friends.
Now, I know you're gonna like it because it doesn't have a ton of chili. Like, there's a good amount of chili. Wiener touch?
Wiener touch?
Damn good dog, bro. Wow. Doesn't have the snap though.
Does not have the snap, but
That's a
this
good
is
dog.
chili. Wow. Now I see why everybody hypes them up. I want another bite.
But like you mentioned, it doesn't have a ton of chili, so it's nice to eat too. It's easy.
And this is the first time in my life I've had no chili on my hands.
Not national chili. That's our own chili. All right, Joey. 1 out of 313.
Go off 313.
Perfect score has been 313.
Wow, this
that was
is
American. I'll also point out chili cheese fries. They use the real cheese. The real cheese.
Little sprinkle cheese.
That's the good stuff.
All right, so I'm gonna start this off. Wiener Snap. I do love the Wiener Snap, so this one was kind of like you chewed right through it, but it was really good. I'm gonna have to give this one a higher 200s. I'm gonna go with 291.
Ooh, that's close to where I was going. 299. 299 is my official score. 299. Almost perfect. The only thing that held it back was the Wiener Snap.
That's Big Tony back there.
My dad opened this joint in 1969. And so we've been here 51 years. What happened was every year my grandma would give the kids $5,000 for a Christmas gift. And my dad opened this joint with $5 grand. It's a fun little joint. In the summers when you should come here, it will blow your mind. It's insane.
No, but for real, we're going to get a Chicago dog, but the Coney rating, dude, the people that have been requesting this and telling us to come here, thank you.
Mitch is one of them. Thank you, Mitch.
Wow. I would have never come here, and this is amazing. $2.99, baby.
All right, so for my first La Pumas experience, not only was the dog amazing, the people inside there are absolutely amazing.
And it was just such a good dog. Everything about it was just amazing because you talk about the environment. It's great.
Yeah, it's just what he said, it's a place. Like, what do you call it?
It's a
joint. A joint. It's a joint. Yeah, it's a hot dog joint. They survive on hot dogs. That's all they know, and they do it well. La Pumas in Rochester. $2.99 for me. Joey, what'd you give it?
$2.91. And honestly, like I want to go up on that score, but it's because of the love that I felt in there. But it's not just a regular Coney dog. They got a full menu of everything. They got dogs.
Dogs, that's it. And tacos, good tacos too. But La Pumas, A+, man, A+.
Come check them out. Where should we go next? Let us know.
And I'm telling you, Joey, that was like, it was more than the hot dog there. It was an experience.
And don't get me wrong, the hot dog was fantastic.
Yes.
That's why we both gave upper 290s on the score. But that experience, Tony, the entire staff, the guy that was chefing back there, like, I have never felt so good. You walk in, we see Tony's best friend. He's like, yeah, man, Tony was my best friend since high school. The old people at the other table, like, everybody there was just such great people.
The old people at the other table, Joey.
They go there like every single day, they were saying.
Yeah, he said he drives from Wixom to Rochester just to eat there.
Yeah.
And
wait, I got his business card. Let me shout him out.
Yeah.
Let me shout him
still
out.
got his business card on you?
From Innovative. Wait, I just called him an old people, and now I got to shout him out. He's a young fella, all right? Innovative Mortgage, Keith Kuhn. He's the president.
Yeah.
What up, Big Keith?
I don't know if that's Kuhn or Keen. Sometimes that's
Kuhn.
Yeah, sometimes it's pronounced differently.
Oh, really?
Like, I went to school with a guy like that, and his name was Mike Keen, but it was spelt like Kuhn. So
That's awesome.
Either way, no, it was a great experience. In summertime, he said the lines, like, literally for hours they'll go down, and it'll just be people cycling through because they turn over those dogs really fast.
Oh, yeah.
So they rifle through people, but they're right on the river. They got a nice little place to sit. I'm looking forward to going back there this summer.
Yeah, and you talk about how he isn't like a Coney Island where you go and you could get a chicken finger pita, you could get this, you could get that, you could get a salad. You go there, and he calls it a joint.
Yep.
Because you go there, you're getting dogs.
Yeah, they're a hot dog joint. That's it. That's what they do is dogs.
Hot dog. They do got a random-ass taco on the menu.
Yeah.
But it's a good taco.
I love those mom and pop joints that just specifically specialize in one thing because that's usually they kill it in that one lane.
Yep, and that's what they did. And, like, they had a Chicago dog that they brought out to us. They brought out this Mexican dog.
You ever had these, Kory?
Which was like a chili dog that was in a tortilla. It was great.
Chili dog in a tortilla.
Yeah, it was good.
Have you ever heard of a Chicago dog? I've never even heard of it.
You ever heard of Chicago dog before? Yeah.
Dude, Chicago dogs are amazing. Yeah.
It was good. I tried it. It was really good.
What's up, Art? Turn your mic on, Art. Nope, I can't hear you. Well,
My mic on?
There we go.
Can we do a Flint style Coney review? Because there is a difference between Flint and Detroit style. There's a couple spots.
You know what?
What's different?
He's right. I don't want to cut him off, but I did not know that until I went to Flint with my friends. There is actually a difference between Flint Coneys and Detroit Coneys.
What's the difference?
I think it's the mustard, if I'm not mistaken. But you got to come with me, though.
What do you mean
because
with the mustard?
You guys aren't welcome in Flint, really. You got to
come on. I run Flint.
Oh, okay.
I run Flint.
I got a couple spots, though. I want to make a guest appearance, obviously, with my gluten intolerance.
Oh, Jesus.
But I would love to take you guys to some spots.
Do they have gluten-free hot dog buns and stuff for you?
I run the city. I run the city.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I run the city.
Can I get a Flint-style Coney dog with no bun, please?
But for real, it's just the mustard that makes the difference in
I
the
think
Flint?
it's either the mustard or the chili. I'm trying to remember exactly. It's been so long.
Robert in the chat just said the chili is different.
Yeah, the chili.
What does that mean?
You'll find out when we go.
Flint-style chili, is that a thing?
Because, Detroit chili is more like Greek-based chili. So, is Flint just, hood-ass chili?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Let me shoot a quick text to a couple of friends who I know might have an answer for this.
Okay, yeah, we need to settle this debate. I have never heard that Flint has different Coney dogs than Detroit. So that's interesting. Let's do this. Let's take a quick 15-second break. When we come back, we are going to talk about franchise tags in the NFL because 'tis franchise season. Nobody's really made one yet, but teams are allowed to start doing it right now. We'll talk about what players and what teams should franchise coming up next.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network. We got a new show that's going to be starting next Monday. We'll make the announcement tomorrow. I'm excited for this new show, the cast of characters that are going to be on this new show, and it will be 3 to 5 live right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Very much looking forward to launching that on Monday. So thank you guys who have downloaded our app already. You'll have 3 live shows that you're able to listen to on the app. And you can always listen to us anywhere on social media, Facebook, Instagram, of course, Twitter, and YouTube. So thank you guys for that. So franchise tags, they're now able to do it in the NFL. Free agency doesn't start till March 17th, I believe, which is St. Patrick's Day for all my Irish friends out there. Looking forward to that this year. I had to sit out St. Patrick's Day last year was I just got drunk in my basement because that's when
depression.
That's when the COVID shutdown first happened. So yeah,
What do you mean I can't host my party?
Yeah, I couldn't. I was ready to host DJ Godfather's party downtown, and no. So I went to my basement with a bottle of JMO, and I had a good night regardless. Hell, and I also put on my Care Bear onesie. So that was my St. Patrick's Day last year. This year, NFL free agency starts, so I'm assuming some fireworks are going to happen. But franchise tags should be happening right now, and there's a couple people around the league that I thought we could talk about and highlight. We could start off with in the division, Allen Robinson for the Chicago Bears. They've been going back and forth on contract talks. Allen Robinson doesn't really seem like he wants to be a Bear, but this is what the franchise tag is for. I don't care what you want. Boom, you're on the team. Do you think the Bears should franchise tag Allen Robinson?
I believe they should for his value, especially with their quarterback situation. They don't really have one, so they need some type of weapon there to begin with. If they don't franchise tag him, they're pretty much just going to be worthless on the offense to me.
I got to double check the stats on this, but I saw a tweet yesterday that Mitch Trubisky has never thrown a pick six. Isn't that crazy?
Damn.
I know. I got to double check.
NFL?
NFL.
Wow.
Yeah, in his past 100 or whatever, he's one of the only quarterbacks, and he's the only one in the NFL who doesn't have it. So they got to make a decision at quarterback for Chicago, first of all. Are they going to stick with Mitch Trubisky? They didn't pick up his fifth-year option, so they're going to have to either commit to him for another 3 years or sign him to another contract or move on. And I don't know what they're going to do, and that's probably why Allen Robinson wants out of Chicago.
I mean, Mitchell Trubisky, I'd want out too.
Yeah, it's crazy that he's the best quarterback Allen Robinson has ever played with. Yeah.
And especially you look at the Bears and where their draft pick lies. I think it's like 20 this year.
Yeah.
And it's like there's not really many quarterback options that they could take at that. I mean, unless maybe a Mac Jones.
I was just going to say Mac Jones may fall there, and that's it.
It's the only possible one, which truthfully I don't think is a bad fit, but it's just
yeah.
I mean, they got to secure that. And I mean, you talk about Allen Robinson. I always love this about former Detroit athletes. When they go away, they always get this itch to come back home. You know, like a TJ Lang, for example.
Love
you know,
it.
he goes to Green Bay, and then he just had that itch. He wanted to come back here to Detroit because this is where his family is. He knew that he wanted to make Detroit his forever home. So maybe he has that same thing for him.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. Then we're moving over to Dallas. They got a big decision. Are they going to franchise tag Dak again? I think they should because they don't have another option at quarterback right now. Andy Dalton is what he is. Like, the Red Rockets not going to get you to where you want to go in Dallas.
Man, they got to go ahead and move on from Canelo Dalton.
Canelo Dalton.
Yeah, move on from Canelo Dalton. Just go ahead and franchise tag Dak. I mean, you don't have a choice unless you're just going to want to go ahead and tank again for a high draft pick. But
yeah, no, Dak wanted that $40 million. He ain't getting that $40 million. The closest he's going to get is signing this franchise tag, and which is funny in Dak's situation because it went from being a curse to now it's like, dude, this is going to be the best offer you're going to get because we don't even know if your ankle works anymore. So Dak Prescott, I would assume that they're going to franchise him. And then we come to our very own Detroit Lions. The main person that they would have to franchise is Kenny Golladay. And I think they have to franchise Kenny Golladay. Otherwise, our wide receiver core is dead.
Yeah, that's not, it's kind of like it's a no-brainer. You got to franchise that Kenny Golladay. You don't want to let him go to the open market, and then you're trying to go out and find a different wide receiver because now you're going to be paying possibly even more money that you really don't even have.
But do you use that franchise on Okwara? Because those are the two players that the Lions have to retain. Like, those are the only two players really that I want to retain and that bring value to the team. So do you put your franchise tag on defense, or do you put it on your wide receiver on offense?
I think you put it on defense, and then you try to go out there and grab a couple pieces on the offense. Grab a couple pieces on the. Hold on, I said it all wrong. You go ahead and franchise tag Golladay, and then you just try to go add a couple of pieces on defense throughout the draft, the free agency, because you do not want to lose a talent like Golladay.
No, I'm with you, especially when you found him so late in the draft and you've developed him. Like those are the guys that you hate to lose. You know, eventually, like a DK Metcalf, who was a high pick, like he eventually is going to demand a lot of money and maybe get out of Seattle. When you draft a guy in a third round and he develops into a great wide receiver, it's almost like he's your baby and you don't want to let it go at all. So I agree. I think the Lions should franchise tag Golladay, mostly because I don't want to see them drafting a wide receiver at number 7. If they don't franchise tag Golladay, I think they have to draft a wide receiver at 7. So they're kind of making their draft decision with what they're doing with Golladay.
Totally agree. And the thing is, do you really want to go with the unknown? You already know what you have with Kenny Golladay. Do you really want to go ahead and spend that high of a pick when you have so many other holes?
Right.
I just totally disagree with that. If you sign Golladay, franchise tag Golladay, you still got Cephas. If you need to go out and you get another wide receiver, go in the draft. Maybe go in the free agency or go later in the draft and possibly pick up somebody. You don't need to, make a stupid decision by letting Golladay get out there. Then you're forced and backed into a corner of, damn, now we definitely need to draft a playmaker.
Right. You talk about the unknown too, because I don't want this whole Jared Goff situation to kind of drag. I feel like we got to at least give him some weapons to work with, because if he has no wide receivers at all this season besides Quintez Cephas, I mean, maybe we do draft with wide receiver at number 7, but then it's just like all right, well, here's this excuse. Jared Goff had nobody, so let's drag it on to next season.
Yeah,
and then they're going to do this and then drag it on to another one.
Sounds familiar too, doesn't it?
That's why I'm saying that. I don't want that to happen. I feel like we got to give him a little bit to work with at least.
What you got,
the weapons that Jared Goff, I mean, I put it in quotes because you never know what's going to happen with the draft. He doesn't have enough powerful weapons right now, so you're putting a lot on his back. Wouldn't you want, and I know this is a crazy take, wouldn't you want an extra quarterback? Because Goff Goff isn't going to be here forever. We don't want 12 years of Stafford, but with Goff part 2. That's not going to happen. Wouldn't you want to draft a quarterback this year just for safekeeping?
That's the idea, is to have that quarterback and evolve him. But do you forget that we have Chase Daniels? Oh, my bad. No, but that is the idea. And that's where a lot of people that want the Lions to draft a quarterback at number 7, that's where their angle is coming from. Like, look, we don't know if Goff is the long-term solution. Where I'm at with that is we know he may not be the long-term solution, but we know we at least have to play him this year. Like, we have to play Goff this year. Otherwise, we're not going to trade him. The salary cap hit is just too much. In 2 years, maybe we can get rid of him and not take as big of a hit. But you'd like to use that time to get your next quarterback up and ready. So I understand why you'd say that. I want to give Goff, all the weapons we can to actually see what we have in him. He's 26 years old. He was the number 1 overall pick in the draft just as little as 4 or 5 years ago. He was in a Super Bowl 2.5 years ago. He won a playoff game without a thumb this year. So, I at least want to kick the tires on him and see what the hell we got.
Preach.
Thanks, Kory.
My thing is this. I'm with Joey. I've never worn another man's name on my back, but I would buy a Justin Fields jersey.
Really?
I just think that we need young, we need vibrant. But someone 4 or 5 years ago that made it in the draft, cool. They won a Super Bowl, cool. I want a whole new system.
I don't care about who looks cool on the back of a jersey. I'm all about winning these games. And here's the thing about it. It is in the best interest of everybody that Jared Goff is successful.
Yes.
Because that means you get to go ahead and spread those picks in other directions and address other holes. I don't think that they need to go quarterback just yet because, again, you have a battle-tested quarterback who has playoff experience and Super Bowl experience. You want to go ahead and see what you have with that. The Lions have so many other holes that they need to address. Right now, they at least know that they have a quarterback who is competent and knows how to win games despite the talent that he doesn't have the big arm and all the big plays like that.
Yeah, but who cares? Tom Brady doesn't have legs.
Exactly.
Dude can't even run. But
he's old school legend.
I want someone with legs. I want someone that can run it's a running game for the quarterback now.
I want a winner, and Goff to this point has proven that he's a winner. So if that's mainly what it all comes down to. If Goff can come out this year and show that he can win, hey, give him another year. Or if he can at least keep the ship from going super tank, is see what you have right there. You need weapons on the offensive line, the wide receiver, that D-line, linebackers, cornerback. Quarterback, we don't really need to. The Lions don't need to address that right now. That they can definitely. They have 2 picks next year, depending on what they do with the draft. They could possibly have 3 first-round draft picks next year. Go out and then draft Goff's successor then, because, all right, Goff doesn't do well this upcoming season. Draft his successor. Then you got 2 seasons of Goff. You already see what you got. Go ahead and bring the guy in Campbell's 3rd year as coach.
Yeah, and another reason I think we all want Goff to do well is even if he's not our guy and we don't want him moving forward, if he does well, we now have an asset that we could trade for more assets.
Yeah.
We could keep parlaying this guy. We could turn Matthew Stafford into 2 first-round draft picks, a 3rd round, and Goff, and then turn Goff into a first-round draft pick and maybe a 4th or something.
Yeah.
So now we got 3 first-round draft picks, a 3rd and a 4th for Stafford. That's the way I will look at it. Plus a year of solid quarterback play. It's the Lions have really put themselves in a win-win-win-win-win position by doing what they did with Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, but here's my thing, though. I mean, what if it's Stafford part 2, to where he's a great quarterback, but the rest of the team is shit?
But then you get out of him for 2 years. You can cut bait real quick, and then you're not doing a total rebuild if you draft your quarterback next year. Now you're like, all right, if he doesn't do well this year, you draft the quarterback in the next draft, and then if Goff does bad, you get to cut ties without really any damaging situation to the cap, and then boom, now you're smooth sailing into your rebuild plan with all of these draft picks, and you're where you thought you were going to be anyway.
I like your point there.
I'll concede.
I'll concede.
All right, let's move on to the Green Bay Packers. Their biggest franchise tag that they could place is on Aaron Jones, their running back, who had a monster season. But they're saying that Jones may hold out if they do the franchise tag on him. So, as an owner of the Packers, are you franchise tagging Aaron Jones?
I think you need to. This really that simple. I think you need to. Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. Going to go down as one of the top 3, top 5, wherever you want to put him. But he needs a guy like Aaron Jones to be able to help that whole offense succeed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they did draft a rookie running back last year, Dylan, who didn't really get a ton of action. He saw some carries in the playoffs, but I don't know if he's the future for the Packers. But Aaron Jones is that dude, and if you can lock him up, you lock him up. But also, I understand why he wants a legitimate contract and just not a franchise tag, especially if you're a running back. Like, the running back franchise tag, to me, is probably the most brutal franchise tag, because those are the guys that literally have the shortest shelf life of any NFL player. So to spend one of your years and not get any guaranteed money for the next year, it's just very tough to play on that 1-year tag.
I think they should do it. Will they do it? I don't think they do it. I think they actually, just decide to roll the dice on the situation and go with the younger guys they drafted.
Yeah. And then we move on over to Tampa Bay, the champs. The champ here. What about Chris Godwin? We know he's a restricted or unrestricted free agent. He was only making about $875,000 or something in that range this year. He wasn't even breaking $1 million.
That was the best use of that money.
Oh my God! Yes.
Like, seriously, imagine playing that well and realizing how little you're making compared to everybody else.
Yeah, it's got to be a weird gut check for some of these NFL athletes. Like, wait a minute, this guy's making $20 million a year, and I'm making $800,000, but I'm out producing the $20 million a year guy.
Chase Daniel over at the Detroit Lions makes more money than me.
Exactly, a lot more money, like 5 times the money you make.
Yeah, that's the sad part. But this is gonna be the time he makes his money.
Yeah, so he's either going to enter free agency and make a lot of money there, or they're going to franchise him in Tampa. And Tom Brady has been quoted as saying he wants everybody back in Tampa, and usually what Daddy Brady wants, Daddy Brady gets.
They are definitely using the franchise tag on Godwin. It's like, I think that one is pretty much a no-brainer. He's so detrimental not detrimental. He's such a big part of what makes their offense flow. They need him. They need Mike Evans. They need Gronk. They still need AB. They need that whole gang to come back in order for them to go ahead and make another run. And I think they're going to go ahead and do the franchise tag in hopes of getting a longer deal out of him. He should be their #1 focus this offseason.
Yeah. Look how many star, tight end, and wide receivers you just named right there.
Right.
I'm so jealous. And then you talked about Galladay here in Detroit, and that's literally all that we have.
Yeah, but he is a star. I mean, when he's healthy, and that's the thing. That's the other thing we got to worry about with Galladay, is because I'm still in the camp that he probably could have played a few more games last year, but he was just like, I don't know if I'm going to risk it all for these guys.
I think he definitely could have played a couple more games last year. But to your point, it's not necessarily I don't want to risk it all for these guys. I don't want to risk it all for that coach.
Yeah.
And that truthfully is what I think. I feel like he could have played, but there was some beef there with the coach, obviously.
Well, we saw Matt Patricia literally go at every one of his star players and try to diminish them, not only as players, but as men. And when you do that, these guys that do make a decent amount of money really don't have to listen to you.
When you lose the locker room, you lose the respect. Heck, I'm still kind of listening to it because I was listening on my way in here, listening to an interview that Ndamukong Suh had with Shannon Sharp, and he was talking about how much respect and how much he learned from Jim Caldwell. And you see all of Jim Caldwell's former players, not to go on a Jim Caldwell rant, but you see all of his former players respect him and how they played hard for him. Nobody wanted to go out there and play hard for freaking Matt Patricia. Everybody kind of is like at the point they mailed it in. You can tell just off of how they talk about him.
Yeah, well, you could tell Matt Patricia really didn't put much effort into anything. Appearance, diet, coaching, hygiene, just pretty much anything. Respect, anything, but beard etiquette. Just everything that guy was off on. So those were some of the franchise tag names that are out there. Obviously, for the Lions, Kenny Galladay is our focus, and they can franchise him if they want today. So we'll find out, and we'll keep you updated on all of that good information. Let's do this. Let's take a 15-second break, and when we come back, there's bikini drama going on.
Oh.
And the pictures are looking good. We'll talk about that coming up next on the Woodward Sports
Sports,
Network.
and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
So one of my favorite Olympic sports to watch is beach volleyball, and I like volleyball. Well, this is why why are you laughing already, Art? Why are you laughing already? I do mean it. I love volleyball. I played in a volleyball league and we won the championship.
Okay,
Art.
would you have the same excitement for men's volleyball as women's?
No, I like watching Dahlhauser and those guys. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Okay, I just listed the beach volleyball USA team, man.
You listed 2 teams. There wasn't even a team.
Dude, okay. Either way, I like watching volleyball, especially women's volleyball, but I'll also watch the men, dude. Like indoor male volleyball, when those guys are jumping 9 feet in the air and crushing it onto each other. Volleyball's an intense sport.
I, too, have watched Top Gun. I get it. It's exciting. Tom Cruise is a dream. We get it, Stick.
Checks his watch and flexes.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Stick. They come out with the new league, right? Women's volleyball.
Uh-huh.
With them wearing loose sweatpants. You still watching it?
Watching.
I mean, yeah, I watch it for the athletes. I don't know, you guys. I don't know what you guys are implying here,
All
but
right,
I don't
good.
like it.
Good,
I don't
because this
like
league, volleyball, the VIS league starts on Monday, so I want you to watch this every Monday.
So there's a German beach volleyball duo. They're playing in Qatar, which is, as you know, has a lot of sand, and that's where they have beach volleyball going on. But these 2 young ladies, their name are Carla Borger and Julia Swade, they said they're boycotting the tournament because that is the only country that forbids women volleyball players from wearing bikinis while they play.
What? Get rid of this country.
Exactly. So they're boycotting the whole thing because they're not allowed to wear their bikinis. And what they're saying is, listen, this is our work uniform, and these people are robbing us of wearing our work uniform. They want them to be fully covered, have T-shirts on and pants, kind of like the sweatpants league you just invented.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's
Mr.
crazy,
Qatar.
what's crazy, what's crazy to that is, like, especially now where we are in society, it's like, you look at the way that women's bodies are portrayed. I mean, this is what's wrong with that? And you see the picture up right now at like the lower thirds on the screen.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's not like it's a loose one where you see the little boobies jiggling around.
No, and I mean, this is what these girls are normally playing in. And anytime you throw an athlete off, like their routine, what they wear, their uniform's a little bit different, it really screws them. You got some more beach volleyball pictures. Take away that lower third on that one. There it is.
Now put that back up, actually. I'm a little bit offended by that.
But it's in those countries. I don't know the whole. I'm not going to sit up here and say I know the whole rules, but I know in some of those countries that the women have to be covered up.
Hey, why you stuttering over there? Why you stuttering over there, Kory?
Hey, the women have to be covered up, so it's kind of how it is. Like, I know Art doesn't like when I talk about wrestling, but in WWE they had a Saudi Arabia pay-per-view, and the women couldn't even wrestle. And even when they were fully clothed.
So why would the WWE even go there?
You know what? That was also a big controversy with some of the wrestlers. Like, why are we going to a place where the women can't even wrestle?
Where half of our staff isn't invited. Like, I get it, money, but imagine like reverse gender and do it with race. Like, all right, you're allowed to come, but none of your white wrestlers or black wrestlers are allowed to come. It's off-putting. It's stupid. As an organization, you got to take a stand and be like, oh, you don't want all of us? You don't get any of us.
But the thing is, in that WWE case, they paid I can't remember, that was the president. I don't want to say the country wrong, but over there, they paid a crap ton of money for that pay-per-view to come over there. Like, Vince McMahon got a sizable check for the women to not wrestle. So that's really what it all boils down to. You know,
they paid them not to wresle.
In a sense, yeah.
And this is kind of like reverse strip club-ish. You're paying them to put clothes on.
Yeah.
And that's what they're saying. They're saying we'd like to make it clear that we're not making any demands on what athletes should wear at the event. Yet, female players have been asked to wear shirts and long trousers rather than their bikinis.
And you know what? they did eventually let them wrestle there, they had to wear these big sweatshirts like the ones, you know, somebody will go to bed in.
I like Australia, Art. Let's stay with Australia. And we know Fish loves Australia too.
Now I see why you like
that's
Australia.
Germany. That's Germany. The red one's Australia. There we go. That's Australia. Thank you, Art. But I don't see anything wrong with this. This is natural. This is beautiful. This is what volleyball is all about. I want more of this, not less. In all countries, not fewer.
Man, look at that. Damn, look at that hat that she has on.
Yeah, aren't those great visors?
Those visors are, wow.
Hey, can you name those two ladies? I bet you I can. Misty May and Carrie Walsh.
Oh, stop it. You Googled it,
No,
bro.
I didn't,
yes,
dude.
You did.
Yeah, it says her name right there on the back of the shirt. I don't know how you knew Misty, though. That's impressive.
No, that's actually Jennings. That's not Misty May. That's her other partner.
Because it says Walsh and Jennings.
It says Walsh on top.
Walsh is one of them. Jennings is the other.
That's how he knew.
Or is that her last name? Walsh
Yeah, that's
Jennings.
both their last names. That's the team last names.
Okay.
No, actually,
this guy actually knows what he's talking
Jennings,
about.
when the girl in that picture was married to a former Tiger too. So, yeah, like you guys act like I don't like volleyball. I literally like volleyball. I don't know why you guys are making this all about Miss Australia's butt.
Yeah, I mean,
Can you go back to that, Art?
Yeah, go back.
Yeah, I don't know why you're making it about this.
Yeah.
I'm doing a quick Google search, and and they have a really strict dress code over there in Qatar. That's how you said it?
Qatar.
Qatar? I don't know.
I don't know. Cater? Decatur? We going down to Atlanta?
Hey, I don't know. I admit, I don't know. Some of these names throw me off.
What is their dress code?
Well, I'm looking at it right now. It says that, it's really hot over there, so you think you'll be able to get down into your, T-shirt and shorts, but you can't. Women are required to wear, like, long robes.
Damn.
You have to
Guys,
wear
I can
stuff
give
that
you some
covers your
insight if you need it.
shoulders, and everything has to go down past your knees. So,
what you got, Adam?
All right, I can give you guys some insight on this. This is just how these countries operate, whether it's right or wrong. They're ran on religious-based law. So a lot of the shit that's normal to us over there is like completely not normal and totally offends them. So it's super weird to try and explain why they have to cover up. I mean, we don't do it here, but again, you're in a country that enforces it. It's super, super unfortunate for all the women there.
Yeah, so why invite women to play in a tournament there? Thank you, Art. Why invite women to play in a tournament there when you're going to force them to dress? And you're kind of just, you're going to get the controversy, so just debt the whole situation and only invite the men. But the men wear less than that. I mean, the men are shirtless with just board shorts on.
Damn it, the program froze. We got to leave that picture up for the rest of the broadcast.
But when you look at soccer too, like soccer, it's more clothed, obviously.
Yes.
But it's still like that is. I'm a married man. That is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna watch the sport and appreciate the sport, but the beauty, I can't help but not admire that. Like as a guy, like so. I don't understand why, like, I get other countries' ways of living. I get that. We're not all, it's not America runs the world. But at the same time, like, this is beautiful. Like, what's wrong?
No.
See, now you're starting a whole conversation in itself. Yeah. You over there comparing volleyball women over to soccer women.
Oh, volleyball all day.
Listen,
volleyball.
Wait, hold up. Let me see. My girl working? All right,
Is she listening right now?
She started working at 9 o'clock, so we're straight. So let me tell you guys, all right? A soccer booty is by far my favorite booty out there. My favorite.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. Some of the football lingerie women, like they
oh, that's a good league too.
There's some good-looking ladies.
That's a good league too.
It's a good league too. So yeah, that's just something interesting that's happening around the world. I thought it was funny, like these women. I'm sorry if I offended any women watching right now, but these women. Thank you, Art. These women are boycotting Qatar, and they have every right to, because they should be able to wear whatever the hell they want. If they wanted to play naked, let them play naked. But obviously, Adam says it's for religious reasons, and like different parts of the world operate in different ways. Like as much as we complain about what we have here in America,
we don't have Australia.
No. Thank you, Art.
Man, we definitely don't got that.
No,
She
but
210 first off.
In all seriousness, like when you look around the world and you see things like this, and you look at how far we need to go as a country. You look at other countries and about how far they even have to go to even come close to where we are, and obviously Qatar is in that lane. They're just not, they're not caught up.
Damn, she just texted me saying she's off today.
It's a lot of different things over in other countries where they have, we have way more liberty than they have. Like I was just telling, I believe it was, I was telling Sean yesterday. I was at a Pistons versus Magic game, and it was actually in Orlando, and I was trolling all of the Orlando fans because the Pistons were kicking their ass, and they were calling it a cold blue, and I'm like, a cold blue is when y'all flatlining, your whole franchise is flatlining. And I was talking so much trash, and this guy came to me after the game, and he said, "Oh my God, over here in America, you can just get in somebody's face and talk trash, and you do nothing. In my country, you would have been killed by now."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's different ball games no matter where you go. And, like, when Joey and I were at that Let Them Play rally, the kid from Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Peter Nwoke, he spoke, and we touched on this, that, in his land, if he was standing on the Capitol building speaking out against the government, he probably would have been murdered. But here, even though like he disagreed with the government, he was allowed to have his say in a meaningful, right way. Obviously, we're not allowed to do whatever the hell we want, but if you act accordingly, you can speak out.
Right. Hey, on the bright side, I got a couple of texts from my friends from Flint, and they both said the same thing about the difference between the Detroit Conies and the Flint Conies. So they say with the Detroit Conies, it's kind of like a chili, like a sauce, whereas with the Flint Conies, they use real ground beef.
Okay. Oh. All right. So they just use beef.
Yeah, you need the chili. What do you mean?
No, I'm telling you, I've got a spot. We have to go.
What's it called?
I don't remember. I know exactly where it's
but
at.
I got a spot.
I know exactly where it's at.
I know exactly where it's at.
Where the heck are you taking us?
That's awesome. Well, it's almost 9:50, so that means it's almost time for Mr. Fish to take the stage with Fish's Facts of the Day. We're going to take a 15-second break, and when we get back, Mr. Fish is going to be on the stage giving us delicious facts and bets right here on the Woodward Sports Network. I mean, we're inside Grow Green right now, and they have everything. I'm talking, you got your active air fans, you got your big lights over there, big pots, little pots, and Joey, what are you doing right now?
Get some sun.
That's not what those lights are for.
Feels nice.
Go to Grow Green MI today to get all your growing needs and a tan.
Other short facts.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. My name is Stick. It is now 9:50, and that means Fish shows up on stage to deliver his beautiful Fish's Facts. And Fish, let's just get right on into it. It's Fish! Let's do it, buddy. What you got for today?
All right, today. So yesterday, Champions League, Bayern Munich won 4-1.
What was that? Champions League?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
They won. They won 4-1. So if you had Lazio, sorry, they kind of got killed. But Jamal Musiala, 17 years and 363 days old, is the youngest Englishman to score in the Champions League.
Nice. 17 years old, man. What a future that kid's got.
That kid's 17?
17 and 363.
Okay, so almost 18.
Oh, 363 days.
Ladies, he's almost legal.
He's almost legal. And then, fun fact: since the Premier League, started in 1992, not a single English coach or manager, as they call it, won the title.
That guy looks English. He looks very English.
I guess he's not English. He's old.
He's old.
We go to this day in history. Wilt Chamberlain, February 24th, 1967, set the record for field goal attempts in a game without a miss. 18 for 18 versus Baltimore.
Wow, man. Wilt Chamberlain was the GOAT. He was a big dude, too.
Yeah, he was a big dude. And then latest stats, LeBron James is averaging 38.2 minutes in February. It is most by any player.
He's over there whining.
Yeah, he's now averaging more minutes per game than last season.
That is not what you want out of your old all-star, but
So,
he's got to do it. They got nobody else on the Lakers.
To your point, LeBron James, could be good.
Yeah, he's good.
Well, Adam, sorry, I'm going against you.
Oh!
Pistons won last night. I know it's the Magic, but I'm going against them. They're plus 370.
Okay, I like that.
They're going to beat the Pelicans, hopefully.
Oh, you think the Pistons are going to get back-to-back wins? Back-to-back wins.
I hope.
I'm excited to see Zion play. Like, I love watching Zion Williamson play basketball. I could watch him. I'm really interested to see when him and Isaiah Stewart match up on the block. Like, those are two bullies, big guys. I love that kind of basketball.
I mean, plus 370 on the money line on my bookie. I might mess around with that. Why not?
All right.
Yeah, don't put too much money on that, Joey.
Okay, I won't.
Just warning. And then the champions. Do, 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 do.
Woo, woo, woo. Thank you, Fish.
You're very welcome. So Real Madrid and Atalanta today. Real Madrid is plus 190. Atalanta is plus 133. That one's a toss-up.
Okay.
I thought that said Atlanta. I ain't gonna lie.
I thought it said Atlanta too. It's not Atlanta. And then first timers in the Champions League, Borussia Mönchengladbach. You can tell that they couldn't even fit the whole name in.
Can you say that one more time?
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
I would have called it Bo Russia something.
They play in Man City. That's why they're plus 885.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Man City is the beast, so they should win single-handedly. The over-under is 2. So I would go over.
Got it. Nice. And those are your bets for today, Fish?
Those are the bets.
You're excited to watch some soccer this afternoon? I know we got some early games.
Yeah, we have a game at noon.
Nice. And everybody that followed Fish yesterday on his Instagram, thank you very much. Did you get a bunch of new followers?
I did, yes.
That's awesome. And we love that Fish is now on social media. It's at Samuel Fisher.
New Zealand.
New Zealand, baby. I love it. Thank you very much, Fish, for delivering us your facts of the day. It is now time for Joey's Dumbass of the Day.
So this time is in a Walmart parking lot.
Ooh.
And you always gotta
I love Walmart
that.
dumbasses.
And on top of that, it's a Florida man Walmart dumbass.
Oh, my God. Just put it all together. It's like a dream.
This is a dream come true. No pun intended with that one word I just used.
Uh-oh.
26-year-old named Kyle was sitting in his car with the windows open, pleasuring himself.
I mean, when the moment strikes, you got to hit it.
A woman saw him, called the cops. Kyle admitted to what he was doing, and his excuse is the best part. He said he didn't know anybody could see him, and he was lonely because his ex-girlfriend was in another state.
See?
So he wanted to give it up to the cop and tell him the truth, right? First off, if you're going to do this, go ahead. To your point, right? At least have some tinted windows.
Right.
Yeah,
or a blanket
look around
or something.
Your surroundings.
Thank you. Fish knows.
360 vision.
But here's the best part, though, is first off, I could only imagine why his ex-girlfriend is now an ex and she moved away.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, why would you go to a Walmart parking lot? Because there ain't no telling in a Walmart parking lot.
I mean, you know, I don't know. Do you have video of this, Joey?
I do not have video.
The one you don't have video of.
Unfortunately.
Just see this kid in the car.
But it's like, why you got to pick a Walmart parking lot, homie? At least pick like a
what? A lover's lane so you could peek in the window and be super creepy?
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere you're masturbating in a parking lot is weird. There is no good parking lot to masturbate in.
Dude, my favorite, though, was the Kohl's story. It was on the Orchard Lake Road Kohl's a couple years ago where someone did it in the actual store.
In the store? Like in the dressing room?
No, it was like in an actual, like in an aisle of the store.
That's got to be a dare. You probably got dared to do that.
That ain't no dare because that results in some jail time. That's just a dumbass.
That's a dare. That's what people do. Hey, 24 hours in a Walmart here.
I don't know what you be betting with your homies, Fish.
Yeah, Fish and his friends have some weird dares going on. So that is your dumbass of the day,
That is
Joey?
my Florida man Walmart dumbass of the day.
All right, let me hit him with the official dumbass.
You dumbass.
You dumbass. So thank you guys for waking up this morning with the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Up next at 11 a.m. is the Bell and Baligian Show, or Baligian and Bell Show. I'm sorry, I transposed their names there. But also today at 4:20, the Michigan Canacast is releasing their latest podcast. So make sure you tune in to that. Just go to woodwardsports.com. You can click on the podcast link, and every one of our podcasts are up there. Everything from Ben's Origins to Art of Combat to Kory's Everything Is. And it's just, if you guys want some good listening and some more like specific sports or something like that, that's why we have these individual podcasts for you. So make sure you go check those out, woodwardsports.com. Click on podcasts. Or if you want to listen to this show all over again, you can do it on any of the social medias, or go to where you listen to any of your podcasts, and you can listen to us there as well. So thank you guys so much for waking up with the Morning Woodward Show. Have a great Wednesday. It's nice. It's sunny again. Enjoy the day, Detroit.